Good morning, everyone. Thanks for making it on today for Cup of Faith. I will wait a few more seconds for people to pop on. It's Monday and 5 degrees outside. What a contrast from minus 45 that we recently just experienced. But I'm okay with it. It's great to have a little bit of warmer weather. I'm honored to be here with you this morning and to fill in for Pastor Kylie, who's in a course this week at Horizon Seminary. But I want to start by reading Psalm 13. I'm going to read Psalm 13. If you want to go there in your Bibles, we're going to read this together. It starts like this. How long, O Lord, will you forget me for good? How long will you hide your face from me? How long will I harbor cares in my soul and sorrow in my heart by day? How long will my enemy loom over me? Take note and answer me, O Lord my God. Brighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have him. Lest my foes exult when I stumble. I, for my part, confide in your kindness. May my heart exult in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. So Psalm 13 would be categorized in the genre of lament. Lament is the most common genre in the Psalms. There are 150 Psalms in the Psalms, and the most common is a lament, which should really tell us the characteristic of our life. Our life is filled with moments of heartache and lament. And when you read a lament, the most common features of it is a direct address to God with a plea to be heard. Usually the psalmist is complaining about their present circumstances, but yet they end up at the end of the psalm providing a confidence in the nature and character of God with a vow of praise and a vow to worship in the midst of it. And so a lament, it begins with a very honest confession. It begins in a very deep, profoundly sorrowful moment and ends in a vow of confidence in the nature of who God is. And I really felt that this psalm was so relevant these days that we are in, because the psalmist is repeating over and over and over, saying, how long, O Lord? Have you ever said that, maybe consciously or unconsciously in these days? O Lord, how long will this be going on? We look at our health concerns. Spoke to someone the other day who's waiting for surgery, but because of COVID, there are so many delays. And he's saying just this, I could sense the groaning in his soul, just going, how long will I have to wait? Maybe it's a relational conflict that you are in right now, and you're saying, how long is this going to go on for? Maybe you're just fed up with the pandemic and saying, how long are these restrictions going to be going on for? Or how long will I be dealing with this sense of anxiety and fear and stress that has been plaguing my heart? The Psalms, and especially the laments, give us permission to be honest with God about what is going on in the depths of our soul. I am so thankful that God allows us to process our life with him. He does not expect us to be perceived as doing okay and filled with faith all the time. As I get to know my own personality, my personality is always trying to perceive that I'm doing well. I don't like to be showing that I'm weak. I don't like to show that I need help or I'm struggling. And I have found in this season, the Spirit has been speaking to me and saying, Jeremy, you need to just be honest. You need to just cry out in what you're feeling to me. And don't stay there, but take an inventory of the goodness of God in your life. And that's what this psalm does. It begins with this repeated question, how long, O Lord? The psalmist is feeling the abandonment from God. He's wondering, where are you, God? How long will I harbor these cares in my soul? But notice verse 5. It says, I, for my part, confide in your kindness. May my heart exult in your salvation. The psalmist begins to take inventory and remember and reflect on the goodness of God. And when we are in times of heaviness and sorrow and waiting, one of the great gifts that we have is to look back. One of the things that we struggle with sometimes is our memory. We forget how good and faithful God has been to us. And in these moments where we are asking God, how long? It's an invitation for us to go back and reflect on moments in our life where we felt heaviness and struggle, and how God was faithful in those times, how he got us through an emotional crisis, a relational problem. And to be able to say, he has dealt bountifully with me. The psalmist is saying, despite what I am encountering right now in my life, I can say this for sure, that God has been so generous to me. He has dealt bountifully with me. We live as Christians in a state of agony and adoration at the same time. And this is why the prosperity theology is so dangerous. Because as you read the Psalms, it's very clear that faith in Jesus does not mean that we will have a cure for the pains of life. Faith in Jesus is not a pass into an easy experience. Faith is what anchors our soul in the storms. It does not remove the storms, it allows us to go through the storms. We live in a state of agony and adoration. And it really spoke to me, this verse 6, where the psalmist is saying, I will sing to the Lord. And to be honest with you, as a worship leader, there has been so many moments where I have said, singing is the last thing that I want to do right now. I don't know if you've come to church or you've been online and you've just sat there and said, yeah, I just don't think I can even utter anything out of my mouth. But it's this decision that we make to say, Lord, despite what I'm in right now, I am going to open my mouth and sing praises to you, because your love is better than life. Because your love supersedes any kind of obstacles that I encounter. I want to read from Romans 8, and it really gets at this groaning that we experience. Romans 8:22 says, we know that the whole creation groans and travails in pain together until now. Not only that, but we also, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, groan within ourselves while we eagerly wait for adoption, the redemption of our bodies. The gift that we can have as we wait as Christians and struggle through seasons of our life like we are in is to remember that this life and this world is not our ultimate home. That our hearts are groaning to be with Jesus. Our creation is groaning. And how easy is it to look around right now as you observe the news and the political spectrum and the controversies that our world is debating and struggling through? Isn't the earth just groaning to be redeemed? And we can know that we have been redeemed. Our hearts and our souls were made for Him, for eternity. And so I want to leave you with this word today, hope. Hope. Because no matter how long we have to wait through the struggles that we go through, we can always take heart in the hope that we have in Jesus. That He will restore us. He will bring us into His presence. So I want to remind you, as you go into your week, there are many things that our church is trying to do to keep you connected and encouraged. One of those is Everyday Theology. It's an online course that we've been offering. Meryl Dick, who has just been an incredible blessing to our church family. That's going to be tonight at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. on Zoom. We're going to be posting a link for that class, so please join us for Everyday Theology. I'm excited. In the next few weeks, we're going to be starting another online course led by Adam Driscoll through the Gospels of Jesus. We're going to be going chapter by chapter. And so I want to fill you with hope, because we have this incredible community. We have an incredible God. We have the scriptures to nourish us daily. And we want you to know that you're not alone. So please sign up for a pod this weekend. We'd love to see you in person. If not, we'll catch you online. But God bless you and have a great day.